Go.
Hey everybody, I'm Mark O'Sullivan. I'm a civilian here supporting the Gurkhas who are outside Downing Street in the protest pen campaigning for equal pensions to other ex-soldiers because they're only getting a fraction of what other soldiers in the British Army are getting. They fought in the British Army, for the British Army for over 200 years. Now I'm here now with the leader of their campaign. What's your name, please, sir?
I'm Gyanraj Rai.
Okay, we know why you're here. You're here to campaign for equal pensions because you're only getting a fraction of what our other ex-soldiers are getting in this country. So can you please tell me in your own words what stage you're at now and how this campaign is going and what you want to happen?
Actually, we want equal pension right, but having said that, we've got other different things as well. And like the pension, we are three types of Gurkhas, those who served in Hong Kong, not in UK, those who served UK and Hong Kong or Malaysia, and another group is those who served only in the UK. So there are three types of Gurkhas for the pensioner. And there are other groups who are redundant. After the Borneo or Malaysian confrontation,
Redundant.
Right, yeah. They were redundant and sent home almost barefooted. They got very little amount of lump sum or gratuity. And there are other people, the widow, we get very little pension, even though it raised many times percent by percent. Our pension is now hardly 30%. But we do get only 60% of that 30%.
Wow.
So they are another victim. We don't get state pension. We paid national insurance, but they are not giving us state pension. And if we go back to Nepal, we cannot get any good medical treatment. And especially when we were serving, our salary was almost, it was about say 5-6% only in comparison to British counterparts.
Okay.
So we could not educate our children. As they are not educated, they are not skilled. They are working dirty, difficult, dangerous job in Saudi Arabian countries, Malaysia or African countries. And now their elderly, old and frail parents are over here in the UK. If they come over here, they can claim the benefit like the refugee or the, the beggar, If they stay here, they get. If they go back to Nepal, they don't. So as they are very old and frail, they can't do proper shopping, they can't cook.
So they're struggling to survive, basically, and that's why you're here, to try.
You can imagine what shall I be doing when I'm 80, And especially, they can't book the GP doctor, they can't speak English. In old days, during 60s, if I tried to learn English, they would punish me. Do you believe?
Who would punish you for that?
The commander.
Really?
They wanted we to communicate only in the Roman Gurkhali.
Okay.
So mainly the elderly frail people are not able to see the doctor when they need. Hardly they get after a long time, if they get some helper to take them to the GP, and they can't explain what are the real problem. I mean the medical history. They can't explain. So hardly the doctor gives prescription. They can't get the medicine in right time. They don't know where to get from. And they cannot take the medication in time,
So people are suffering and people becoming ill and dying unnecessarily.
Exactly, that's what.
And this is why you're taking this so seriously.
That is the reason.
It's not just about pensions, it's about all the like the domino effect,
Yeah.
and all the other problems that that's causing for you and your fellow, your comrades, and your people in general.
Yeah.
Because it's their families that are suffering too, who they support, isn't
Exactly.
it? Yeah.
Throughout our life, we have been heavily exploited. So we are very poor in Nepal. Yeah. So those veterans, they have got many dependent family. There is no social security like in UK and Nepal. We get nothing in Nepal. Yeah. So the elderly saving the money which they receive as a benefit, they saving the money and sending back to the for their children, and they are not eating good food over here. Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So everywhere problem.
And before you came to this point where you decided you're going to campaign, if necessarily, a hunger strike, I mean, you've already arranged that and got that organised. Have you tried to talk to our government in other ways before that?
We did every type of campaign, politically, academically, even culturally. We pressurized Nepal government, UK government. Even some people went to the court, High Court, but the case was not well prepared or well presented. So in many cases we lost the cases. Yeah, but the problem is still on. Yeah.
Okay, so now it's got to the stage where you're desperate.
We did everything, as I said. There is no other means to show the fact, to tell the people fact, to make the people understand how serious this problem is.
See what I'm saying? You haven't just come out in anger. You've tried everything first.
Everything.
Before you got to this
We've
stage.
been fighting. This gentleman, Lieutenant Yam, he was the what you call Samsthapak, like Samsthapak. He was the first General Secretary of
Gurkha Meyak Service Organization, which was published before 2000 and something. I retired in 1993. Then after 2 years, 95, this organization was formed. So we staged a legal battle, We formed. First we organized our organization because this was the issue, This was the time that we have been exploited, alienated, betrayed by the British government for 207 years. So we have to form an organization. We formed an organization during 95, 2009. Then we try to find out what is the real on the tripartite agreement which was signed between UK, Nepal,
and
India. But the main thing is India and Nepal wasn't the signature on that tripartite agreement. India and UK only signed them. And what they did.
Thank you. Sorry.
And what they did is they buy side the Nepal government. They make their own decision. Like pre-July 97 Gurkhas, as Gyanraj has explained, were still paid according to the Indian pay code. You are the British Gurkhas, That is the main fact.
So basically, your voices haven't been heard so far. So we're here now. We're in this pen, this protest pen. What's happening right now? What stage are you at now with your campaign?
Now, by the 7th, we'll be changing our the way we're doing. At the moment, we are doing 24-hour relay hunger strike.
Relay hunger strike. That means you're taking turns.
In turns, after every 24 hours.
Yeah.
But from 7th, we three of us, me and Mr. Dhan is there somewhere, and a lady is in the hotel. She's passing her quarantine time, and we three will be staging hunger strike over here until the demand is met. The demand is very simple. Hardly now Nepal government is requesting British government to come forward for dialogue. Yeah?
Right.
She has written twice already to British government, but British government is changing her word, and it's almost now over 3 years.
So they just let you down time after time.
Yeah. She's even not respecting the closest ally of Great Britain, Nepal was the one to save the Great Britain, isn't it? Do you believe that? If Nepal was not there to support Great Britain, do you think Britain would be like this? Yeah. But now,
How long have the Gurkhas served in the British Army? I hear over 200 years.
it's now almost 207 years.
207
Since
years.
since 1814. Imagine 1814 and 2015 we celebrate bicentenary, of the Gurkha recruitment by the Nepal government and UK government with a big pomp and circumstances, big noise. They spend lots of money, but the Gurkhas still facing family separation, deportations, and our veterans, it's not a rosy life in UK. It's very hard. You have to pay tax, you have to pay mortgage. All those things are there. It's very difficult. It's not easy. With the small pension, we can't survive. They have to work again. All our life, because of the small pension, we'll be going to the foreign country to work again to earn and make our wife, family, to have a better life. Still we are struggling, They haven't. And the Boris Johnson here can find billions of pounds for the COVID-19 vaccine. But as it was said, Colonel Camp said on the GB News, that British government has been money pinching, and be ignoring the Gurkhas' plight of the Gurkhas. And this ignorance will cost heavy to the British government. The sooner the better, they should resolve this Gurkha plight of the Gurkhas, Otherwise they'll pay the price.
And that the main unforgettable thing is, like he was saying, in 15 years of service, we hardly could stay with our wife for 2.5 years to 3 years. That means in 15 years of period, we spent 3 years only with our family. So thousands of family broken, When we went back to Nepal after every 3 years, the children could not recognize us. We could not recognize our children. Yeah? And those children who were born in Hong Kong or UK, when they were 2 years, 3 years, they were sent back to the village in the hills. Many people, many children, they died over there because of the malnutrition, proper lack of medication and the health and the hygiene, And again, after our retirement of 15 years or 20 years, we could not survive in Nepal, so we had to leave our family behind, leave them alone in the village. And we had to go to Saudi Arabia, African country, Malaysian country to earn money, to look after our children. Anyway, still we could not educate our children, so they are now in Saudi Arabia. Their parents, elderly parents, are over here suffering, like I said before.
Separated.
Yeah.
Separated.
Separated. Now, if I'm 70, hardly I could remain with my family for 10 years, 7, 8 years. Then always separation. That is the unforgettable thing.
And the main thing I should hear, it is the Gurkhas issue is not just the monetary or the pension issue, It's about the status. Like the Great Britain spent billions of pounds on the Brexit, for their sovereignty, to take control of their borders. It is the same issue with the Gurkhas. We want.
They still haven't done that.
Yeah.
They still haven't took control of the borders.
And it is about the status, sovereign and sovereignty of beautiful United Kingdom. When British Raj ruled India, it was a very big problem. Because of the Gurkha recruitment, we lost our demographically. As I said, when the population was only 5 million, 3 million Gurkhas, especially Rai, Limbu, Guru Magas, our master race were sent by the regime to fight for the British. Nearly 3 million died. And neither the British government, neither the UK government have got the authentic record of how many people killed, And the dump Gurkhas are still dumped on Malaysia, Singapore, Malaysia, Fiji and there. So this is very, very painful. And their wife, loved ones are still waiting back home for their safe return so they can bury their loved one with the proper burial, This is the thing,
Listen, that comes to me. So you heard it in your own words now, what the Gurkhas are suffering, what they're going through. It's not just about pensions, it's about lots and lots of things, the knock-on effect. Their families are suffering, their families are separated, they can't afford to survive, they can't get proper medical treatment. So please come out and support them. You know, they deserve our support. They fought for this country. You know, they've suffered everything that any other regiment in this country has suffered. You know, and they haven't really been given much support so far. So, you know, come out, please support them. Cut it there, go.
Thank you very much.